Hi folks, welcome back to Cannock Paranormal Investigations and apologies I haven't uploaded anything since probably March. I've not been very well since March. Very strange illnesses and afflictions. So I'm feeling a lot better now, but yeah, one of the reasons why I haven't uploaded was because we never actually got around to getting back there. I wasn't really encouraging too many investigations. I wanted to get myself right. There were times when I kind of like felt I really wanted to get back down there, but I had to kind of stop myself. Um, my health comes first, really. So yeah, that's why we haven't been back down. However, I say we haven't been back down. We did actually go down in to Cannock Chase on the 25th of February, 25th February, 25th of October. Not long before Halloween, and it was a very interesting night. So the reason why I'm talking to you is because I I did take my night cam with me, which is that little kind of like handheld night cam, and I also had my night scope. Um, and we basically went to Castle Ring, which is in Gentle Shore, for anyone that knows. If you kind of want to know a bit more about Castle Ring, I do have other videos, so I won't bother uploading a Google Earth image. But yeah, we were in Castle Ring, and basically when you come from the car park, you can go either up onto the ring, so it's up a little bit of a sort of slope, or you can go kind of round on the lower slope, which is the lower path that kind of encircles the ring. So we decided to go around the path and to our usual spot, which is the woods, sort of like opposite, I suppose, the opposite end where the car park is. So right round Castle Ring um, to the woods, and there's like a bench there, and we just sort of set up there for a bit. So I had my night cam. I went into the woods and by myself. There was three of us. It was actually It wasn't that cold. It was. It was an okay night. It had been a little bit damp earlier on in the day, but it was actually not too cold. And yeah, we were all kind of very well dressed for cold weather, if you like. So yeah, I decided to kind of descend a little bit more into the woods. It's quite an old trail, and I probably went about 30, 40 foot in, just so I could make a little video. And normally I would maybe put my meter down and call out to anything that's there. I don't really believe that calling out is going to attract anything, but I generally just do it as something to do. I like to choose to like just talk into the camera kind of a little bit, and sometimes things will happen in the background, sometimes they won't. So I did notice whilst I was down in the woods, that I thought I heard whispering. I did glance round to see if it was my friends, and they weren't anywhere to be seen. There was nobody there. So it could have just been my imagination. I thought I heard a low sort of like breathy noise as well. Again, it could just have been the wind or something like that. So I didn't really kind of like assume very much, and for some reason I decided to do a call out, but it wasn't my usual, is there anything here in the woods that wants to make contact? I started to ask if it was anything in the sky that wanted to make contact with us. And I did that for a little while, and then I returned after about 15 minutes back up to my two friends, and we decided we were going to maybe walk around so we were sort of going round that way, sort of, and then when we get to about there, we were sort of like come back onto the ring and actually walk across the top bit around. So the car park would have been there, so we were all the way around there, and we got to about there, and then we started to notice that over the tree line, um, there was like a light, and it was zipping about up and down, not necessarily left and right, but it would suddenly kind of like sort of move, and then it would kind of go up, and then it would go down again, and it was it was quite bright, but I tried to observe it through my night scope, and I went to record it through my night scope, and for the first time ever, the night scopes registered that I had a corrupted SD card, so I couldn't actually. Whenever I tried to view it, I managed to view it once, and it was weird because I wanted to confirm if it was like a drone or something. But basically it was kind of there, and then it just went disappeared, and then it kind of reappeared sort of there. Um, and there was no sort of cloud cover. There was clouds, but there was definitely no cloud cover at that point. So I thought that was really, really weird that this object was kind of like disappearing and reappearing, and its movement was really, really erratic. But then I got this multicolored screen, which is really strange on a night vision scope, as everything is usually in black and white. And it was just, and I just thought, well, okay, I think the SD card's corrupted there, which it was. As I kind of later found out, it wouldn't do anything. Um, but yeah, I was kind of like, I did the other video, which was cool in the woods, and when I got home to view that, I had two very short, weird short videos of the back of my friend's legs walking around a path, um, which I remember like putting it on for a few seconds. But the video of the that I did down in the woods, that I was hoping might pick up the whispering bit and then maybe the breathy noise that I heard, and yeah, that was kind of. Well, it's sort of seemingly that the SD card had corrupted that file. So again, that file was corrupted. So it was a very curious evening for both those reasons. Um, a bit annoying because I now have to buy a couple of SD cards. But yeah, it was very interesting, and I think the previous video that I did, which was back in March, with some new friends of ours that we kind of like from the group, and that was really, really disappointing. The guy had no interest in the paranormal, which was a shame, and literally nothing paranormal happened. So that was down by the stepping stones. But it was kind of great to be back. That's March, April, May, June, July, August, September. So that was like a 6 month period in between. And yeah, I got ill. Just sort of like I started to get quite not bad enough not to actually miss kind of going to work, but a lot of kind of discomfort and some real serious breathing issues, and another issue as well, a gynecological issue. So yeah, I just didn't kind of pursue um, heading out to Cannock Chase, and I will do a separate video to this because I wanted to. I mean, originally I would have liked to have uploaded the video from the night, but of course none of those came out. And yes, I am annoyed. I do have to buy two new SD cards. We are intending to go back though to Castle Ring on hopefully around about 13th of December to see if there's anything going on. And yeah, my original the previous video to that from the stepping stones, I remembered saying on a video that it felt like there was nothing paranormal at all going on Cannock Chase. And it was almost like, and I felt this for a couple of years, even though we kind of pursued investigations, apart from the weird incident at Marquis Drive, where Kim saw something scampering towards us, which wasn't a dog. Um, and a lot of people think it was an overreaction. And of course, if it was a dog, um, probably wouldn't be able to outrun a dog anyway. And I shouldn't have turned and run, but I don't know. There was something. There was a bit of terror in her voice that I kind of felt compelled to actually follow her. Um, and I wish we'd kind of stood our ground just to kind of confirm what it was or wasn't. So apologies to anyone who's kind of watched that thinking, what we're doing is a joke. I mean, yeah, chasing around paranormal probably is a joke to a lot of people, but especially those people who know can't chase who go up there for recreational purposes like cycling and taking their dog, hanging out with family and stuff who have never seen anything. So therefore, nothing exists on there. And there is a lot of mythology about Cannock Chase that it's almost like an early version of AI, the amount of BS that kind of chase. There's people that invent stories, invent interviews with people um, to well, basically make money out of it. And I don't really subscribe to that. I think there's some interesting stuff going on kind of chase that we've formalized theories about, but just to invent stories about werewolves and stuff like that with interviews with fictional people that probably will never ever come forward to say yes, it's absolutely true. Of course, it always comes through certain person, and I really honestly would say to anybody, just discount those stories, those myths, urban myths, some of them, just created straight out of a comic book. Um, I'm not, bitter that somebody's out there to make money. If you can make money out of anything, then you know, do so. But what I would say is there's a lot of I call it the AI BS of Cannock Chase, where it's kind of like the invention of stuff that isn't act. So anyway, what I wanted to say was that um, the previous video that I did back in March on the Stepping Stones, I kind of felt at the time that, in fact, I've felt it for a couple of years maybe, that it felt like that the paranormal aspects of Cannock Chase were like pretty dead, and I think on one hand there's like a theory that says that if you over investigate an area, just all the energy just goes. I've heard this about various locations, indoor locations where people have investigated, and just everything goes very quiet because there's too many people. But there is the other sort of theory as well, is that sometimes when people come in to investigate, they bring new energies in, and so if you're investigating a specific energy that you suspect to be frequenting an area, sometimes you're introduced to like new stuff, which so it kind of drowns out the old stuff, but you assume that you're still dealing with the, I don't know, let's say the lady in grey, and it's not, it's just something else, some other energy that somebody's brought in by maybe messing, around with the occult or something. But yeah, with Cannock Chase, it did really kind of feels like it just kind of went very, very quiet. And my my personal fear is that, and I've kind of felt that something big is happening in the world, and I'll kind of draw in more onto that in a separate video. But it kind of feels like the whole, like the waters are drawing out. Like when you get a tidal wave and that the water draws very out, and then it comes like rushing back in, um, like a tsunami. And what I'm kind of thinking at the moment is that for a couple of years the waters have just drawn out on paranormal. Period. A lot of the groups, the Facebook groups, just gone dead, absolutely dead. Some of the really big ones that had 30, 40,000 people on, have just gone flat. There must be a reason for all this, and people sometimes they think about, oh well, people are just getting on with different things in their lives. Not everybody at the same time, and I just kind of feel that the energy has just dissipated. But I think it's a temporary thing. I think it's going to come back in with a bang, and maybe, maybe being on Cannock Chase now is might yield the fruits of whatever's coming next paranormally, and we might see more than we've ever seen on there. Those are just kind of my weird and wacky thoughts about this. I'm certainly looking forward to getting back in December. That was incredibly strange with the light, not to mention my corrupted SD cards, which I'll now have to buy another two of them. Happy to do that, but hopefully they won't corrupt again, because then I'll definitely know 100% that something's mysterious is going on. So yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video just to kind of, fill you in where I've been. Like I say, my health problems have improved a lot. The breathing issue is kind of 98% gone. And I think that was basically a reaction to antibiotics. So, and at one point um, I did, I, I did call an ambulance. So that's how kind of bad it got. And this was in June. And the really annoying thing for me was that I intended to do a lot of walking, and my first, um, I can't remember if I even posted a video on it, but I did a walk in April, um, and it was a beautiful day. It was in Sutton Park, and I went on about a 5 hour walk, and it was fantastic. But yeah, ever since then, I've had a really bad breathing issue. I've had another issue as well, which I've been really scared about. And hopefully, maybe at some point somebody can have a look. But that's kind of improved a lot. And in the meantime, weirdly, and this is something I really want to get onto on a separate video. I've had some kind of really strange dreams and almost, I don't know, spiritual things happening to me. It's like lights have been switched on inside me. I can't really explain. I'm not a woo-woo kind of person. I studied psychology. I look to science a lot. I'm very open-minded. I'm an open-minded skeptic, but yeah, I can't deny that. I feel like a lot of strangeness has been happening, but in a good way. And and whatever I experience, I'll let you know about. But yeah, I'll do a separate video actually, because yeah, it's some really odd stuff, and I'll kind of let you all know about it. But it's good to be back. I hope that I know a few people have left this channel. I don't have millions of subscribers. I've got a few hundred, and probably a few of them kind of joined for earlier videos going back 10 years. But hopefully, you will accept my apologies that I should have posted something just to say I wasn't very well, but you kind of get caught up in a moment and get lost in a time, and having to juggle work as well has it's been quite tough. Fortunately, the summer was nice, and so it could have been a lot better. But yeah, it could have been a lot better, and at least it wasn't. I wasn't. I don't know. I mean, at least I only had to go to hospital once, I suppose. So, yeah, just. But I intend, well, the remainder of this year and next year to be a lot more active, doing stuff. And yeah, definitely, one of the things I want to get into as well is meditating. But I'll talk about this in another video, and I'll catch up with you guys. And I hope you're all well, by the way. And let me know how your year has been. Be really, really good to know. I mean, I know some people just follow this to see if there's any action on Cannock Chase, and but it would really be good to know a little bit about those that have subscribed, and how you're doing and what your interests are in the paranormal and stuff. It's always good. So till next time, take care, and I'll catch up with you soon.